That is a mouthful. Let me start off with this. Who can tell me what the DOD-IG is? Wow, I was expecting 0 answers. I got 4 or 5 hands here. Go ahead.
I used to work for them.
That's not fair. Somebody else.
Department of Defense Inspector General.
You got it. Do you think that organizations like this DOD-IG crawling up into their business? Probably not. It's received more like a colonoscopy. It's one of those things that sometimes necessary, but nobody wants to go through them, right? The report that I'm going to share with you today is not going to be pretty. It's not a charity. The DOD is not a charity. The report is titled "The Navy's," we'll use acronyms, ERP system does not comply with essentially financial and accounting standard. Now I'm not going to wade through all 12 items that I'm going to bore the class with. For your purposes, I'm going to stick to just a few of them. I'm going to start off with the background, share how it relates to public policy, show the problems that the DOD-IG found, give recommendations, and then I'll close off with our group's recommendations. The DOD-IG tested for 3 things in the report that I'm sharing with you. They looked at the accuracy and reliability of ERP's financial information. They wanted to make sure that the clicker doesn't fall out of my hands and that the financial and accounting federal standards were being complied with. And they wanted to test for weaknesses in the system's internal controls. The issue at hand in the big picture is, why is the Navy spending $870 million, with an M, $million on the ERP system, obligating over half of its spending power, which, oh by the way, is only $85 billion, without ensuring that they're in compliance with financial and accounting federal system information standards. The slide's busy. Don't pay attention to anything that's not bolded from this point and here for the rest of this presentation. Because a lot of stuff I'm required to have for class, but just ignore it. Just focus on the bold stuff. As far as public policy, do you think that public's attention is perked when you hear that $85 billion might be at stake here? Exactly. There's public laws, there's acts like the FMIA, Federal Financial Management Improvement Act. There's standards like the SFIS and the USSGL. This is a financial standard, this is an accounting standard, and this is an act from public law saying that we need to have uniform reporting in financial, in accounting, so that when we report it externally to the public, it's congruent. And the reason why we have the act is because we needed to restore public confidence. Now the 4th one down here is something that I added, which might sound eerily familiar to speech number 7, which my thesis was on, because we have to give recommendations to the professor, and once again, part of my recommendation is attacking the root of the problem, which the IG found to be the internal control weaknesses. The industry standard for internal controls is set by COSO. They recently revised it. They have 17 principles that they added to the GAO standard. The Navy has not adopted them yet, and that's what my thesis is on, and that's what I think will help this problem in addition to what I'm working on in my thesis. Going back to the report though, the DODIG found 4 issues. The first one we've already covered on. The second one, the bottom line is this: they did not adequately plan, period. That they weren't making sure that we're in compliance with financial standards. They spent $870 million on a system that might not produce financial information that's reliable or accurate. Pretty amazing, huh? The last one we've already covered. Keep belaboring. There's internal control weaknesses. Their findings, once again, I have a whole laundry list that I'm not going to sit up or stand up here and read to you. I may to the class though. But the bottom line up front, like true military presentations, is the Navy's ERP system must comply with the financial and accounting standards, period. The DODIG came up with a lot of recommendations. The ones that you need to know is they address the bigwigs who are responsible, the USD, AT&L, the Chairman Defense Business Systems Management Committee, the ASN, RDA, the ASN, FMC. Why am I using a lot of big acronyms? Because Don loves it. Don is Department of the Navy, for those that don't know. And finally, our recommendations, which might sound similar to my last speech, is let's adopt the 17 principles from COSO so we can fix our internal control weaknesses. So, in summary, I started off giving you a background of what the report was. I showed you what problems were found by the DODIG, what recommendations they give, and then I closed out with ours.